Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another review. And if you have arachnophobia, you might want to skip this review because today we're taking a look at the Toybiz Lord of the Rings Super Poseable Shelob. This figure released back in 2004, and she is based on her appearance from Lord of the Rings The Return of the King. So, to get this review started, we'll take a look at the packaging. Alright, we got the camera situated so we can get a better look at the box here. At the top, you got Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Down here, you got Shelob, and on the outside of the plastic bubble, you got this writings, which I assume is some kind of language. The Lord of the Rings story, probably. I don't know. And on the inside of the back card, you got what I think is a map of Middle-earth, which is pretty cool. That's a neat little thing. On the back, you get the same name, and you get a bio if you want to pause and read that. And the bio is actually pretty good, and it's got a nice length and really gives you an idea what the character's about. You got a digital image of Shelob. You got a random black square, which I don't really know what that's about. Just a random black square. Alright, and then you got a bunch of other words. And that's pretty much it for that. On to the figure. And here we have Shelob. Or Shelob. Shelob? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure how to pronunciate the creature's name, as I'm not really a big Lord of the Rings fan. Now you may be wondering to yourself, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, why did I buy this figure? Well, because it's a spider toy that actually has articulation. Speaking of which, let's get into it. So, bring the figure a little closer here so we can take a look at these little extra legs by the face, also known as the pedipalps. They can rotate at the base. You get a hinge there and a hinge here, which allows them to move around a decent amount, and you can get some pretty nice little expressiveness out of them, which is nice. Now, unfortunately, none of the fangs articulate. They're just stiff in place. I do wish that they could move, like maybe put them on ball joints so you can get some nice movement out of the fangs, but it's not. Oh well. Now, on to the legs. That's at the base of the body. The legs can rotate, and it's also on a hinge. Another hinge here, another hinge here, another hinge there. And the articulation is the same throughout all of the legs, which allows you to move them around quite a lot, which is very nice, because spiders, they tend to move their legs, so it's nice to finally get a figure that actually, reflects that. So, yeah, they do move around quite a bit. And that is it for the articulation. So yeah, do wish maybe there was a bit more like the fangs, or maybe have the abdomen be able to move a bit. But what you get is quite nice. Although it can take some getting used to trying to pose all of the legs. And the awkwardness of posing the legs is not helped by the fact that some of the sculpt of the legs is not the greatest, and so when trying to pose them, they bump into each other a lot, which is kind of annoying. I do kind of wish that wasn't the case, and I think a way that maybe they could have fixed that is by adding more articulation to the legs, like instead of just having a swivel at the base of the leg, maybe add it at the other two hinges as well. Maybe not on the final hinge, but on the first three main joints of the legs. If they added swivels there as well, I think it really would have helped with posing the legs. But as it stands, it's fine. It's just kind of, finagly a little bit. I think that sentence made sense. But yeah, so articulation is pretty good. Now, unfortunately, a problem I do run into is that some of the legs tend to pop off, which, yeah, that's not fun. Yeah, you can see the glue is just kind of worn out, and so it just doesn't, it just doesn't stick on great anymore. You see, we got one of the back legs just popped off as well. That can be also pretty annoying when trying to pose the old gal. Like, yeah, get back on there. So, yeah, that is unfortunate. Although, I don't think that will be an issue with every copy. I think that might just be a problem with mine. Because if you remember on the packaging, the outside plastic bubble is quite yellowed. Yeah, it's not supposed to look like that. Originally, it was just pure, clear plastic. But, yeah, it's yellowed, which means it more than likely sat in the sun for a extended period of time, which I believe that is what has caused the glue to just, not work anymore. So, yeah, I believe that is the source of the issue. And if that didn't happen, the legs would be fine, because on other copies of the figure, the legs do seem to be fine. So that's just a me problem, which is nice but not nice at the same time. It's not nice for me, but it's nice for anyone else who wants to get this figure. Anyways, now we can move on to the details. And you get the spider face which is appropriately gnarly looking. My goodness, look at that big old spider face. Some of the painting of the eyes could have been done a little bit better. You can see they got the glossy black in there, which is a very nice choice, but it's kind of bleeding onto the eye socket as well. So, yeah, it makes the eyes look a little less defined and make them stick out a little less, but it's still not terrible. And you get the nice spot of fangs, and you get the gnarly mouth, and unfortunately they put a little bit too much glue on this fang, and it's bleeding onto the mouth. That doesn't look great. See, the mouth is appropriately beastly looking. And you get the legs, which on the top side of the legs, you get this more smooth kind of exoskeleton look to them. On the underside, they have this more rough kind of texture. Come on, camera, will you focus on the legs a little bit better? Maybe? You can see a little bit better there. You can see you get that more rough texture to it, which is nice. It's a nice little change between the two legs. And you got the top of the thorax, and you got the abdomen, which is all smooth and bulbous and gross looking. And then you do get the two spinnerets at the bottom. Fortunately, they don't move, but they are there. And unfortunately, there's no stinger. Yeah, there's nothing there. I do kind of wish the stinger was present. Maybe it could like fold out on a hinge or something. That'd be kind of cool. But as it is right now, only the spinnerets are visible. You can see the other side of the spoiler. So yeah, detail-wise, it is pretty good. Yeah. Come on, girl. Come on. Stand up. There you go. There we are. So yeah, the details are fairly nicely done. It's not perfect. It's not master grade or anything, but it gets the job done. I do quite like it. Yeah, I also like that they got the spider foot accurately detailed. They get, oh, come on. There we go, that's a little bit better. See, it's got the two little hooks. I like that. Like, very nice attention to detail there. And I think, yep, the back leg just popped off again. And I have to re-glue these legs so they stop popping off like that, because that is quite annoying. But like I said, thankfully, not a widespread issue. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the spoiler. She's quite fierce. Now on to the size comparisons. So, to start things off as always, here it is with a LEGO minifigure. With the Packet Destruction minifigure Mothra. in the Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. Now, to compare it to another spider figure I've reviewed previously, it is with the Transformers animated Black Arachnia. You can see it is quite a bit bigger. And here it is with the NECA Snake Predator, because they got the same face. And here it is with the Bandai Creations 12-inch Final Wars Godzilla. Just because. Get two big beastly beasts. And then finally here it is with the previous review, the Star Wars Black Series Maz. Now that we're done with all that, it's measuring time. Get out this measuring tape. And if you position her in just a casual stance, she stands at almost 4 inches tall at the head. And if you extend the legs all the way out, goodness, isn't even on the frame. Here, let me back up the camera here a bit. There we go. Her full, let me put it through here. There we go. Her full leg span is over 16 inches. About 16 and a half inches. So if you extend the legs all the way, she's pretty big. Which makes sense, because Shelob wasn't very small in the film. So, that is pretty much all I've got to say for the Toybiz Shelob, and overall, she is quite cool. I think they did a fairly nice job with it. No, it's not perfect. It does have some slight issues, like the legs kind of get in the way of each other, and the details not being the cleanest. But honestly, I'm just happy to actually have a articulated spider figure, because there ain't a lot of those around. I wish there were, but there aren't. Seriously, we need more articulated bug figures. Like, some toy company, get on that, please. I'd be the happiest man alive if you did that. Because usually you just get stiff pieces of plastic, and it's like, when you're 5, that's kind of fun, but as you get older, it's like, you want things that can move a bit more, and this is what I've been looking for the longest time. When I found out this thing existed, I was like, oh, I gotta get it. And if you wanted it for yourself on eBay, it's going for around $40 to $50, which is kind of steep for what you get. I mean, it is a decent sized figure, but it's, I don't know, $50, it's a bit much. But you can sometimes find it cheaper. Like, I was able to get mine for only $36, but you're mostly going to be finding it in the $40 to $50 ranges. And if you can justify it, the price, I definitely recommend picking this figure up. Especially if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, or just a spider enthusiast like myself. Yeah, definitely pick this thing up. It is quite nice. And they also released another version that came in a 3-pack with Frodo and Samwise. So that's kind of neat. So if you wanted to get that whole setup, you can do that. They also released a Peter Jackson figure in the same line, which I think is kind of funny. I like it when they do that, when they release figures of the creator of the movie or series or whatever. That's always a treat. But anyways, that's all I've got to say for this figure. Hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara. Bye.